I've been trying to
It's load, and then once it loads, right, it'll come into
siren thing.
Cycle through up here to the.
I'm all right. I don't
I
care.
think we should also.
The code thing's about over according to everybody else anyways, right? I mean, so we take Texas and Mississippi till everybody counts down today. So.
I know, I'm
600.
And I'm just kind of, you're not available like everyone's here.
next week. Oh, yeah?
The 2.5 million gallon.
For which one?
That 600.
Yeah.
Tanks.
Good for you, man.
I mean, we get whatever.
Yeah.
You can't like.
They're all.
Oh, you can't pick and choose? Oh, I have a friend that only she read. And I always just put it like that up here, and she can pick out the whole.
Yeah, just tell them what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So I usually set that down. Recording, and I'll keep recording till we're just meeting. So I'm like this. That's what we do this time. Yeah, make sure it's, make sure Desert Rose and West Central.
Dell doesn't like that idea.
Right, and it turns out Desert Rose is taking it against people, but we're gonna have a discussion about the other one, so. We're not, we didn't take them all.
So for example, here John's trying to get in, we're gonna just go, so you were just going in there.
So, when Marty sent me emails worrying about taking them both off. I'm not
So you
taking
just
them
have to
both.
keep an eye on who's trying to go.
Yeah, and we're not technically taking off, we're just.
Okay.
So determining the right order and under what time.
So you're okay with us discussing this?
Yeah, I think, I mean, what I had heard was we didn't have the application was full.
So
when it-
first thing they do with everything.
I think it is, so we're gonna talk about it for sure. You know, like, what if any action takes, we'll get there when we get there, yeah.
Thank you. We don't want to have to wait another month.
I hear you, I know, these monthly meetings are,
And then
from our
for spouse,
perspective,
so
they
we
come
go
around
from
pretty
the
fast,
year.
but I'm sure from some people,
Yeah.
it's a long wait.
Yeah, and then you get all prepared and then, you know, they put you on the agenda and then the morning of, they say, oh, we'll take you off. It's just,
Yeah,
we need to keep going.
well, it's tricky because sometimes we get stuff on the agenda a couple weeks ahead,
I'll wait for that.
anticipating that we're gonna have the formal application done by the time we have the meeting, and sometimes we don't. So it's a give and take.
Yeah.
I always have that.
Well, thanks for taking time.
Yeah, absolutely.
John will.
That's good. That's
Yeah, something. Plan, plan, Now, these are the
Pretty
same.
close to ready?
Yeah, we're ready to go,
We got
so
about
it's
1 minute.
about 1 more minute,
All right.
Yeah, this was busy.
Do you have the,
this is why we can't do the 2.5 on the other mostly.
I don't know what you're. Well, we're gonna have an open hearing on this.
Yeah,
We're gonna talk about
okay.
this open hearing, so. Would you be able to read that email when we get there ahead of the hearing that we got from,
That Patricia lady.
yeah, the Parker?
Email from Patricia
Yeah,
Parker.
we just want to read it for the record.
Is it on the packet? Is it in there?
It's in.
Okay, okay, I'm just checking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can read that out loud. when we get
Bubbly Wells area, isn't that what we're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
Well,
based
she
on the
didn't really
email,
specify.
it could have been any.
She just
Yeah.
said, we don't want any subdivision.
All right, 6 o'clock. We're gonna open this, March 3rd meeting of the Apple Valley Planning Commission. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Let's do the roll call here. Let's start down here.
Richard Fisher here.
Steve Rayleigh here.
Janet Prentice here.
Alan Angel here. All right, we are all here. Nice. And before we get too deep into the agenda, does anybody have any conflicts of interest they want to announce?
No.
No?
Nope.
Everybody's interested. All right.
Well, interesting.
Let's see, you have approval of the minutes on the packet, but those were.
Yeah, we didn't get
in
a
the
chance
packet,
to get
so-
the minutes on the agenda, so they'll be on the next one to
Okay.
sign, but we have them ready for you to review at least. between
Okay.
now and then.
So yeah, if, since we're not gonna approve them until next, just between now and the next meeting, if everybody take a look them over. And then we're trying to get into a rhythm here where we have our minutes from the previous meeting
So that way.
prior to this meeting, so we all know what we're talking
Exactly,
about.
so once
We're
those
getting
get
closer, that
approved,
time's getting closer and closer. It's, I think by next month we'll have it down.
got it.
So, good work to the staff and, I understand John's not physically here, but he's on, right? So thank you, John. We'll look those minutes over between meetings and, we'll get those approved next time. So the next agenda item is, a hearing on an ordinance changing the zoning for AB 1365-H-4 from open space to rural estate 2.5 acre. That's RE 2.5. I'm gonna go ahead and open the hearing, and before the folks that are present, either in the room or online, speak, we had an email that we'd like to enter into the record. Any shows or like that?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So this was an email that was submitted to us from Mark and Patricia Parker, and I'll just read it as it says. So hi, my name is Patricia Parker. I live at 2826 Purple Sage Road. We cannot attend these meetings as we are out of town. We do not agree with the zone change. We purchased our property because of the open space and the beautiful views. We don't want excessive traffic due to our new subdivision development. Also, a drain on the water and power system. We already have too much outages as it is, so she believes it'll be a drain on that system more. And their vote was no to the subdivision.
Okay. And just for the record, it's
I think this is
It's
probably
not
the
clear that that's about this
Yeah.
particular, but since there's not a hearing on any other thing, we're gonna go ahead and assume that's what this was for.
That's what, yeah.
If it's not, Patricia and Mark will correct us.
Is the purple sage over here though? It's closer to the desert rose.
And that
again,
could have
we
been.
don't know.
So
There's not a hearing about anything else, so.
Yeah. We reached out to them to clarify, and they weren't even sure which one it was either.
Okay.
So,
So the hearing is about the zone change, this is a parcel of property, I think it's an 8-acre parcel out in the Bubbling Wells area. Anybody have anything they want to say about it?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do it as a public member here, Janet? Because we could wait your turn.
No, I'll wait my turn.
Okay,
Okay.
let's let the public talk then. How about that?
What are they gonna do? This isn't gonna be a subdivision, I guess.
So, that's actually, I'm involved with that,
Oh.
so is, Danny Mustard's called in on the Zoom. So what we're trying to do is not, we don't wanna split it 2.5, but because there's not another option below 5, then we're trying to go to a 4. So split it in half, exactly. And then it would be 2 4-acre pieces.
Gotcha. Okay,
So that's what we're trying to do there, we're not trying to subdivide it 2.5.
I gotcha. Anybody have any comments on this? Make this a short one.
can I just get your name for the record, sir?
It's Mason Capsis.
Mason Capsis, thank you.
Nobody in the room, anybody online want to raise their hand virtually? All right, we're gonna close this public hearing.
I am gonna make them, say something as a council member. The town council.
Excuse me,
Debbie.
yes, the meeting, I couldn't get on Zoom, so
Oh, well, we'll go ahead and open it real quick for you. Debbie, you got something to say?
yes.
Give you 3 minutes.
Well,
Sorry.
zoning had just zoned that acre tract as 5-acre low density. Now, as far as I understand, the fellow owns 8 acres on that parcel, so he can build a house on that 5 acres. So I don't see where the conflict is.
Okay. Anything else? Debbie, you have anything?
Well, if it was just zoned 5 acre, low density, I don't really see why there should be a rezone on that, being that it's already been established. And that was
All right.
just months ago.
That's right. Thank you, Rich.
Would you say your name for the record, Rich?
Oh, sorry, Rich Kopp, 2222 East Ranch Road, over in the Bubbling Wells area.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll close the hearing. Janet, back to you.
Okay, on May 20th, town council approved and adopted 0.2020.08, changing the general map and designation of low density for the Bubbling Wells area. The motion was carried by the city council member and passed. This is May 20th of last year. It has to be 5 acres or more. And if we change it, if you had applied for the change before this went in, we'd have no problem. But we can't do it. It's gotta be 5 acres plus.
Okay, so.
And anything else out there that's less than 5 acres was grandfathered in.
So I talked to Marty about it on the phone, and he acted like the split in half, 4 would be close enough that it would probably be something we could get past.
Yeah. Unfortunately, do you happen to have any other acreage nearby that you could, what you need to do is have a 10 acre parcel to get it down to 2 5s, basically. We went through a long drawn out process of getting that general map changed to what we call low density. That required us to have a whole itemized list of what we mean by various densities, and locked in low meaning 5 or bigger. So at least as far as Janet's concerned, I feel the same way. I don't see a way. One of the things we're really strict about on both sides of the equation here is that when the general map reflects a future zone, and we get a request to have that zone, you're pretty close to guaranteed to get that changed, assuming other logistical things follow with regard to access to roads and utilities and those kind of things. Unfortunately, with this one, we need a full 10 acres to split into 2 5s.
Well, besides that, I think that pretty much everybody out there, that's bought out there, whatever, has talked about going down to the 5. Like you said, it was a big drawn out thing that, because most people had 10s or had something else.
Yeah.
To get it to go down to a 5, it took a lot of bantering back and forth, and now it's sitting at 5 right now.
Yeah, it's.
I know it's only 1 acre, but still, it's set for 5 acre zone. So if we go down to 4, then the next guy wants to go to 2 or 2.5, 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
One thing so I have some property just up from there. That's where I live. It's C1, I believe. That's a 20 acre piece. And when they had me rezone it to build on, then they had me rezone it to an R1.
R1.
Yeah, so
It must have been on the map at R1.
On your commercial piece you have right there?
it's not commercial.
Oh, isn't that what the C1's for, is commercial?
No, that's the parcel number.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there are some properties, mine as well, was zoned R1 through the county years ago.
Yeah.
So they're spotty, but they were meant at the time of the Sunshine development to be smaller parcels for mobile home.
Yeah, as Janet said earlier, there were a few parcels out there that already were less than 5 acres. And of course, we can't create land, so you have to grandfather those folks in when you make it a map change. So.
To your advantage, you do have more leeway with the R5 as far as what you can do with it.
We have more animals and.
Quick question for you. Does your 2 pieces touch?
Yeah, they do.
Is there a way that you could take 2 acres off your other piece and add it to this piece, go have an engineer get you know, do a lot line adjustment and then split it into 2 5s and be done? Cause that's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a rubber
yeah.
stamp.
That's right in the ordinance, everything's there, we can't say no. I mean, that's a simple fix.
Okay, so I'll look into that.
That'd be the way to go.
I think so.
You
Since
can
we're,
do it there with that.
since we're this far in, let's just go ahead and complete, number 4. Does anybody want to make a motion on this?
I move that we deny the application for zone change application for AB 1365 H 4.
In a second.
I'll second, sorry.
Yeah, all right, any discussion, further discussion on this?
No.
All right, those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Yeah, I think we got a solution for it. Sorry, it's not as simple as that, but,
It's actually pretty easy to do a lot line adjustment though. This guy in front of you right here, he can help you do it really quick.
Okay, so now we have a hearing on a text amendment adding clarity to minimum lot size for rural estate zones. This is literally a one line that just clarifies when, how to calculate what that minimum size is. For those following along, it's on page 6 of our packet. And when we're talking about areas of 2.5 up to 20 acres, the required minimum size may be calculated prior to a required road dedication. So basically, I think that's clear, right? So let's open the hearing on that one. Anybody have comments on this particular amendment to this ordinance? Going once. Hearing none, close that hearing. Let's go ahead and move on to number 3. Anybody want to make a motion on this one?
Yeah, make a motion that we send the text change of required minimum size may be calculated prior to the required road dedication to the town council for their passage.
Okay, for a second. Second. Second, any discussion on this one?
There's actually which could end up being substantial, this change right here, it says 20, 30, and then 30 in the friends. It needs to be that 20. You see that could be
Page 5,
confusing.
yeah, it is, there's a typo and, there you go.
She's good at typing.
She is.
Well, I tell you what, let's go ahead and make this motion as it is, and then I think it's perfectly okay for us to make another motion to make this change. So let's go ahead and vote on this motion as, do you have that, Taylor, as Janet made it?
Yeah, I have the one that she made, so go ahead and make another one.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and vote on this.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll vote on the same one she did. Okay.
Could we get a second?
We did.
Yeah, we'll
Who's
wait.
seconded? So any further discussion?
There you go.
No.
All right, those in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. And any opposed? No. All right, that passes. And I'm gonna go ahead and just use my authority as chair to suggest, based on a motion that Gwen is about to make, that we make a minor change, edit to page number 2 of this particular ordinance. Will I go ahead and make the,
Is that number C that we're talking about there? Okay.
do you want to make the change in the form of a motion?
Let's see. Okay, I move that paragraph 10C, the second line of that, we need to delete the word 20.
And the word 30 that follows? There's 2
No.
30s.
Oh, there's 2 30s. Okay. Delete 20 and 30 and leave the 130, paren 30.
Okay. You got that, Taylor?
And leave, what was the last part there, sorry?
Leave the second word 30 and the parentheses 30. Basically, just strike the words 20 and the first word 30.
Got it.
Letter C. Okay, anybody want to second that?
I second.
Any discussion on that? No? All right. Those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. All right, that passes too. We're making progress. As was not officially stated, but was talked about prior to the meeting, we're gonna go ahead and table the Desert Road subdivision discussion, that application, plat application. As I understand it, it wasn't 100% complete. But we are gonna have the discussion about the West Temple subdivision preliminary.
Is it all right if we talk about Desert Rolls, just to introduce you to the guys that came from Florida?
Oh, my lord, you came all the way from Florida?
Yeah.
A little bit.
So, and then we'll just go over our punch list. We met with the team that we met with Mayor and Council Member Del Beto, and they gave us some good recommendations, and we'll just read them off to you. So it's in the minutes.
That sounds good.
Does that work good? I got them on the list here.
Yeah, I understand. All right, so I'll,
If Mayor's okay with that, I just read them off the punch list we gotta do.
How about that, Mayor?
Okay.
Okay.
Thumbs up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
There he is. I was wondering that.
Yeah.
all right, so we won't table it, but rather than, we're not gonna make this a discussion and action item of the council, but we will give you an opportunity to go ahead and
Okay.
present, just.
Present.
We're gonna leave the map up here. You guys are welcome to look at
Okay.
that, but all our notes that we're gonna take is, we got them all right here, but, this is Richard Rye.
Y'all down
in Florida. And then this is Darcy Thompson, they're best buddies, and he's actually my, brother-in-law, married to my sister, so.
That's in the right.
Yeah. It's in
now.
And what was your name?
Oh, I'm Carl Rasmussen with Pro Value Engineering, sorry.
That's all right.
So here's, in our discussion, here's what we're gonna be doing. It's part of our punch list and stated March 3rd, 2021. On the lower right and even on the title, we're changing the title from Desert Rose to Majestic Eagle. And then on the big, what we're gonna do is on the little alpha dated or ownership map attachment that you have in your packet, we're gonna do a bigger map so that you can see the parcel numbers and the parcel ownership and obtain the affidavits. Del kids me and says I say alpha, but I'm just Southern Utah folk, guys. So affidavits from all owners. We did provide, and they just want to make sure we get a copy of the title report updated. That map didn't show easements, so we're gonna make sure it has the easements on there. Stormwater designation, we're gonna put on there where the stormwater, where we want to contain, and even what I have as item number 14, show the culvert sizes that we just went and measured the one in SR9 or SR59. And it's a 9-footer just upstream of the very first drainage. The other bridge is gonna match the double box culvert that's here on, it's not Main Street. What is that called? Apple Valley Way?
Apple Valley Way is right next to Chevron.
Yeah, next to Chevron. So we'll put that on the map. We're gonna make sure that not only are we gonna have labels for the widths of the lots, but they want to make sure that we label the radiuses, and we'll add a curve table. We'll make sure we submit the right number of copies of plans. And we're gonna make sure that, and we're updating the layout, because right now the layout is the old one with the 50-foot rights of way, and we're gonna have to change those to 52-foot, because that's the new cross section that you guys adopted. And so we're gonna do 52, and then the main thoroughfares, which are the collector roads, arterials, which would be the road coming in and the road that circles over and ties into, I think it's Goobler Way, Goobler Drive, will be a 50 or a 70-footer.
I think that's actually Gooseberry Drive.
Was that Gooseberry Drive, not Goobler?
Yeah, it's Gooseberry Drive.
Oh, I'm glad you told me that. Well, that's number 15 then.
Sorry, Carl.
So 15 is,
Happy as long as we're not at 13.
yeah, we're gonna label gooseberry. It's funny, I showed them the list and it had number 13. He says, you better make a number 14 on the list. Oh, that's funny. So, 800, oh, let's see. Oh, connectivity. We want to make sure that we have 800-foot limit on lengths of streets and with another connector street. So we're going to go look at all that and in our layout. The open space, I wrote down open space on the east, what we've got to do. That was designated for drainage, but as I look at our contours, I think we need to do some swapping of that
The west.
to over there to the west, exactamente. You're thinking just what I'm thinking. So that's why I've got that open space on the east swap with drainage. And then, so number 11, I have the 70-foot road because item 8 was the 52 roads. Item 11 is going to be 70-foot road. Look at the dumping of the 200+ lots into Gooseberry Drive, out here going to State Street. Yep. Okay. Run sewer to the main disposal on the property Travis owns over here to. They want not only this development, but his development and the others going to one central disposal and treatment area. And that's what the district's looking at on sewer, is to now put in a treatment plant for sewer. So, and what we're looking at, so you're looking at a treatment plant that will reuse the water. So you can do drip system with it. So you're reusing the water and. Yep. So that's what we're looking at. And then look at chip and seal on Gooseberry Road. I better fix that.
Gooseberry Way.
Is it Gooseberry Way? Okay, Gooseberry Way. Okay. And then showed culvert size is 9 foot in the box is item 14. And then I got on here Gooseberry Way, label is what we're gonna fix on the plans.
What are you calling your main road out to 59? Do you have a name on that one yet?
No, if you got a good one, give it to us.
Fisher Lane.
No.
What's that?
The name of this, why don't we call it Majestic E, Majestic Way or something?
Majestic Drive would be a good one.
Majestic Drive.
Yeah.
Okay,
Majestic Boulevard.
because that's gonna be
How about
Majestic Eagle.
That's gonna be the main anyway, Majestic Boulevard.
Okay, Majestic Boulevard, okay.
Yeah, you're
All right, go drive.
So we just wanted to introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
We're making some fixes. Take time to look at it. And if you have some great ideas, please pass them on to us, because we want this to be a bang up thing for Apple Valley, because it's coming and we just as well do it right. And when I say it's kind.
Are you,
Yesterday?
yeah, you ready to go as soon as we are? So
Yeah. Are you funded and everything at this point?
What discussions have you had with the water district about?
Well, that's one of our next meetings, but we're gonna have to, and you can attest to this, but we're gonna have to work with them on putting a new tank on the hill, looping a water line in, and obtaining more source, because it's gonna be needed for this and many more units.
Yeah, between this one and the one you referenced.
Yep, there's a old existing irrigation well sitting about right here.
Right. Here.
No, that's too far over. There's
Well, there is a big one right here that's actually the biggest one.
there's another one right here
Yeah,
somewhere.
Right, actually it's in the middle there, so.
That's good.
It's just been around this one over
So,
here, it's got hard metal.
it's active, it's got water on it.
irrigation.
That's all that one's good for, is irrigation, because of the heavy metal.
So you go far over there.
Yeah,
I don't know about the quality. I just know there's 2 wells there because it was irrigated at one time.
yeah, but that one's got the heavy metals in it, so that's all it can be used for is irrigation, unless you put a filtration
Discussion
system
with
on it.
water is included.
Yeah, number
connecting
16.
tanks, Right?
Number 16.
Let's have the,
Well, they have to add things too, because on this side, we don't have enough storage.
Yeah, but he mentioned putting another
Right.
one up, but we don't want them standalone. They need to be, we need some,
Yeah, we've already talked to the mayor about that in the water
Those
district.
prices.
yeah, great.
Sounds like this, so this is Majestic, what?
Eagle.
Majestic Eagle now.
Just stick eagle. Okay, well, thank you. Sorry that we had to officially table, but it sounds like you've got enough homework to do that we'll see you again
As long as we made
shortly.
some headway, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I know.
it's,
that's,
it's progress in the
And
making.
then you're doing West Temple Village,
Yes,
beautiful. You have plans, gorgeous.
yes. And it's gonna be a nice one. And then they'll even have 2 commercial lots right against the highway. So it's gonna be sweet.
Nice.
Well, thanks for coming all this way. What part of Florida did you come from?
Just north of Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah, I lived down here for 3 years before when I was
The
doing
no
this
gas
originally
area.
in 05. Pardon?
I like your governor.
Yeah, so do I. He's doing real good.
I'd like to borrow him.
Yeah. I think might be the next vice president or president, I think.
There you go.
All right, thanks, guys. We're gonna move on to the next item. And this one, I think we've got a little more complete applications. So let's see, what is that? This is the West Temple Village subdivision.
Item 6.
Item number 6, Joe. Who's here? Is somebody here to?
You want to present?
I can answer, I'll answer any questions since most of them are technical, I can answer them. So this one on your map, I'll just pull this up. There's 27 residential lots, 2 commercial lots. And the commercial will be nice add-on because it's just adjacent and down the street from the Chevron. And, you know, they're just gonna be lots once they're developed. They'll develop both sides of the road. When we met with, again, Dell and the mayor, we have 52 foot through the subdivision that we have to do, which on my last layout I sent, it is 52. I mentioned to him we had 60 there. They recommended a 70. So we're just going to bump this one to a 70. And we're going to look at that and just, that's part of the recommendation. We would have to do it anyway, whatever you guys recommend to the town council as part of your recommendation is that we make sure our width is subject to approval by the town council when they look at it.
Sewer collection system also, right?
Yes,
Quick question on that. So you're gonna go 70 for the main road right there?
70, yeah, the
that's
main
fine.
road, and then that main road's gonna go down and tie into that Majestic. What'd you call it, avenue or drive? Mastic, I better make sure I wrote that down.
Yeah, put that on there.
Not Boulevard Drive.
Which is this down here, right, Carl?
Huh?
Which is this one?
Yeah, so you can show that map to your planning commission.
So question on that.
This is who we're talking about.
So Chevron's over here. So it's on this piece here. And it's eventually gonna bring us down. They'll come back.
Okay. Is this part of the subdivision we approved a while back that had 200 homes?
Yeah.
Just phase 1?
This is just gonna be part of the phase one.
I thought it was.
Yeah, it's 180 this way.
And how many is this one?
27 plus 2 commercial.
So question. on-
Yes, sir.
So this is a complete.
Are you guys?
No, yeah, it's not the whole thing. It's just the first part of it. So we're phasing it. Yeah.
So are you planning on continuing the pavement right here, but we're only gonna do half the pavement because it's for this?
No, it's gonna be pavement full width for even, because we gotta do it in front of the commercial lots.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We'll put
70.
it all in right now.
Yeah, it's all gonna go in.
50 foot, 50
Curb and gutter side, yeah, the curb and gutter and, on both sides of the road oh yeah, on both sides are all full pavement.
You don't have to do curb and gutter, right, the sidewalk.
No, I didn't know that.
We want the pavement, but you don't have to do curb and gutter and sidewalk, you can do garbage.
Okay,
The town still wants to stay rural, we don't want to end up like Salt Lake St. George,
okay.
just.
Could do that just the slopes down.
We may do it in front of the commercial, because you don't have the one, there's curb and gutter in front of the Chevron. I'd recommend we at least have it on
The commercial
half
side.
that road, just because I do need to, I don't want the road washing away with borrow ditches in there next to that wash.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, I'm saying it's
Yeah.
not required. We went through
But
quite a lot.
I'd like to do, if Travis, okay, I'd like to do it on the commercial side.
Yeah, I think that's good.
It needs to have it, just so it looks the same as the Chevron when you guys did that project. You know what I mean? It makes sense, and then have a walkway right there. So we could either do the trail or just sidewalk. Cause you know, people are gonna wanna walk to the post office.
We're really excited about this thing. Been working on it a long time, and we'd like to
Yeah.
proceed.
Oh, yeah.
So you're like yesterday too?
This one.
We're like last
Yeah.
year.
You're running there too.
And again, say, where are you with regard to discussions with the water district?
They sent out an email to the town yesterday stating that they've got enough water to service this first phase.
So they basically give you a will serve letter for phase one?
They send out the letter so that you guys would know that there's enough water to serve this. They're gonna give me the will serve letter in the morning once you approve this tonight, and they said that they would give the will serve, and you go,
Would you say your name for the record?
Travis.
Travis?
This is the most coolest gadget.
What accommodations do you have planned in this phase already, the future phase for upgrades to the general community parks, things that the community itself might be able to enjoy?
Open space stuff.
The trail system will be something that on this part.
So they're gonna do a trail in the future down the Gooseberry Wash, tying down like the box culvert that's here, and it ties into this box culvert. You'll have a trail down along there. And then in the future, across the way on the north side of the wash, Travis had designated a part, a piece for, public facilities, like it could be a school, could be a church, could be, it's down the future and say phase 5, 6, 7, 8 or something.
Yeah.
And we did that on the first master plan we did a couple years ago. And we have that in there. And these guys too, everything's gonna tie to these guys. They're gonna have some amenities on yours too,
Yeah.
so.
Something to think about on that trail is because we have a ton of dust out here and everyone's gonna
Uh-huh.
be riding on it.
Uh-huh.
Maybe to throw some like recycled asphalt or something on top of it to kind of help keep the dust.
Well, it's gonna be like a horse walking trail, so it's down there in the sand. You know,
Oh, down in the wash?
Yeah,
Oh, well, it's down the wash. I don't know what's that.
yeah, it's just gonna be in the
Just
wash.
in the wash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the paved walkway up along, which would be nice, parallel to the highway there, so no one ever has to walk it along that 70-foot road. Thanks.
So I feel like I remember when we approved the whole. I feel like I remember you guys saying at the time that you were gonna put the bridge in over the wash. Are you now relying on their bridge, their road?
They're working together on it. They're working together on
It's
it.
their property anyways. Where that bridge goes in for that other road, it actually belongs to those other guys.
They had discussions earlier. They're gonna be working together to, to do that first phase, they're gonna have to tie in and do that first road, which is Majestic Drive. which means the bridge has got to go in and that 9-foot culvert. So that's another place it
Sounds like
could, the trail could go is down that 9-foot culvert.
That's cool.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Nice that we're getting going.
Yeah.
Everyone, we got half acres? Is that the-
Yeah, half acre. So your city code, just so you don't get confused, because half acre is exactly like 22, well, almost 22,000 square feet, because it's 43,560 square foot to an acre. But the code allows 20,000 square foot is the minimum lot size, which is like 0.48 or 0.49. It's so close to half an acre, but that's just, so when we lay lots out, some of them are over half acre, some of them are under, but as long as we're averaging, the 20,000 square feet, which usually 100% of the time, to comply with the code, you gotta be over that anyways.
But one reason why is to help accommodate for roads, right? So when you
Yes.
start eating up, and giving roads to the town, they give you that buffer in that square footage. So it's
Yeah.
still considered a half acre lot, even though technically it's not a full. But it's because you're giving away land for the town for roads. So.
Yeah.
We would love to get approved for this first 27 lots, so we can get.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, as soon as.
The
as soon as
second
we have
phase
the
will
water.
have some
I know
parks.
Harold, said that there was enough water for the first time that we looked at this.
Yeah.
Where is your road going? Is it on the Apple Valleys? Is it on the north side of the,
Which road?
the main access from the east? It must be on the.
It's right where the mailboxes are, right where the Chevron is.
Yeah, but I'm saying, where is it with regard to mailboxes?
So.
as you go into the mailboxes, there's already, it's already paved.
Straight
There's
across
like
from the
that
entrance to the
100 foot.
Chevron,
Yeah.
straight through right that way.
There's already
Just on your little
That's-
picture here, it
That's-
doesn't look like there's
that's-
much room
that's
for
the
that.
show.
I say 100 foot, it's more like 200 foot of it's already paved
Yeah. It's
for
a
this
big
road
chunk, Yeah.
to tie into.
Okay, perfect.
And it does tie directly across from the entrance to Chevron,
Mhm.
straight across. So.
Yeah, I saw it on your big pictures that you did last couple of years.
Are you required to do any upgrades on turn lane situation on,
We'll be working with UDOT because we gotta do what's called a restriping plan with them. So we've got to comply with them. Town's gonna require it, so it's just good we do it because it's for the safety of the people,
Yeah, I
right?
was just wanting to make sure that it was.
So
Yeah.
it feels to me like it could be, when this thing's built out, one of my concerns is that I'm sure you know, figure this out, but boy, you're gonna turn off at 59 and then take a pretty quick left turn. If a bunch of people want to do that at once, that could be a traffic nightmare.
But one of the things right now is off of the road that the town put in right there. When we turn on, there's not a turn. You have to wait till the traffic's clear. There's
No,
not.
I know.
So that's something that's
Even
gonna need
worse,
to
yeah.
happen.
So let's say 20
You
people
guys
coming
don't
over from
require
work and they're all trying to turn in here at once. Yeah, I'm seeing some.
Well,
Mhm.
you're not required the Ferraris to go do part of that over by Cedar Point for 8 houses. So I guarantee you they're gonna require it for 27. So that's definitely gonna be a UDOT thing.
Chairman, can I make a recommendation here?
Yeah,
I know it probably feels a little bit to the applicant like it would be a delay to not vote on this tonight. However, I think in the long run, it would actually speed up the process. If all these changes that have been discussed tonight are reflected on the plat, then it would go to the town council and they wouldn't have to kind of redo the review process. They could just pick up right where the planning commission left off if it's just a straightforward approval. So if we're trying to help the applicant speed through, maybe we could do a special meeting or I think there's other ways of doing it, but I don't know that I would recommend just moving forward with a list of conditions. Does that make sense?
we're talking about the West Temple Village one right now, right?
Yes, yeah.
So did I miss something? What's the long list of?
It may not be a long list. I think it's actually a very short list. There's still a little bit of paperwork that we're waiting on. And then I think if I heard right, we're going to change the size of the road. Is that correct?
John,
I-
John, all the paperwork is in on this one.
Yeah, I don't think we'd be having the discussion if we didn't have a complete application. So unless I'm missing something, what?
All the paperwork is in on this one.
What's recommended when I met with the mayor and Dell is that we make sure, and you can put it as your condition, that we make sure that the width of that road, which we're gonna call, it's just gonna be the frontage road, is a 70-footer instead of a 60. It's gonna be nicer. It's gonna have a planter strip. It's gonna be nice. And we just as well put it in, especially along that commercial corridor
So that we're gonna-
for the commercial lots.
Maybe it's-
We need to have that. So you
Is that
have,
wide enough to get more than 2 lanes?
huh?
Is that wide enough to get more than 2 lanes going?
No, that 70-footer is wide enough to do, you can stripe it one of two ways. You can have it to where you don't have any parking on both sides, and then you have a turn lane, and then you have it's just turning off. There's not the traffic flow in there, the volume of it doesn't, it's not like Bluff Street in St. George. It's more like 700 West in Hurricane. But 700 West in Hurricane, because of all the schools, is a lot of paint. What they've done at the intersections is they have paint striped like a left turn lane. People still turn right, off the main traffic lane. And if it would be something like that, there's enough room in the pavement that you could do something like that at a major intersection. But the only major intersection we're gonna have is if we go back out, and it's already paved out to Apple Valley Way or down here to Majestic Drive, then it'd be good to just have, because that lane's gonna go straight, because we're gonna continue on with the subdivision going west. So it'll be an intersection that's to have a left turn lane, so you can turn there, hit the highway, and then that road's gonna be 70 foot too. So we'd have a left turn lane there and then a right turn lane, because you'll only be left or right. You actually could go straight. But probably about 1 car in 100 is gonna do that.
Well, there shouldn't be, because a legal lane width is 12 feet.
Right.
So if you have 2 lanes going one direction, that's gonna be 24. 2 this way, talking 48, and a turn lane in the middle is another 12. 70 feet, you're gonna have quite a bit to do.
I understand.
Yeah.
I can't remember the pavement width, but let's say I know it's greater than 35. I can't remember if it's like 41 or 42, but 45, it's up there to where you can do 3 lanes and one of them's a turn lane.
Yeah.
So you can stripe it either way. And I don't have it here before me, but it's in the city's standards. There's a little section view that shows that. And anyway, would be happy to I'll make sure I bring the whole book so you can see all the cross sections. There's probably it seems like there's 30 of them, but there's only like a dozen of them that are cross sections that you guys can use within your community, which are nice. So
have we done any traffic studies on the
well, UDOT's not going to, since this has been built, the SR 59, they don't, if you build the way UDOT works is they don't need a traffic study if you're going to build, if you're doing an intersection and you're building everything with the turn lanes if you're putting in the safety features, then they don't require a traffic study.
So the only thing that might be a requirement from us would be that they get approval from UDOT on the turn lane.
Now, if they require it, we'd be glad to do it. But I just did a RV park on SR 9, and it's busier than this road over in Virgin. And they just said, well, if you're putting it in, you don't need to give me a study, because they already know that they kind of know what the traffic's like for 100 RV units. So they just you need to put the turn lanes in. And as long as you put the turn lanes in, then you meet their safety requirements.
So John, did you find something other than the road width that is amiss here. I guess I also heard that we don't have a formal approval from the water district yet, but you guys said you got the verbal, okay?
They sent an email to the towns saying that they had enough water to service this first
You
phase.
got that, you have access to that email, John?
Yeah, I do. What I would just recommend is maybe just ask the applicant, if it was just a straightforward approval, there was no adjustments to it, then I think it would leave the council in a place where they could just move forward. But if there's changes to the plat after you review it, then I think it's going to open the box back up for review. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
just conceptually. So if the applicant wants to go that route, I think that's okay. It's just not what I would recommend.
Yeah.
We don't have no plans to change the deal. We got
The road was what he's talking about right now.
Yeah, the issue is that it may have to come in front of us again anyway. I don't know if we want to go through this again. We'd rather just get everything.
Can you prove it if we just, if you just say that width
We
is
can,
70 foot?
so just to understand the process, we can make a recommendation to the town council through the list some conditions.
Okay.
But depending on what changes get made in addition to those, if there are any, before it goes to them, it'll probably have to come back to us again anyway. If
That
we're
road-
positive, nothing else other than the width of that road is gonna change, and you're willing to roll that dice.
We're 100% positive. The only thing will change the width of that road. We'll make it 70 feet.
We can make it, we can talk about it here, make it conditional to that one change. Just know though, that if anything else changes, you're gonna factor.
Is this?
Well, I think we gotta say
We're
too,
fine
is
with
that
that.
the UDOT turn lane's gonna have to come up too. So we just need to say that those two things need to get addressed and then we're done.
Yeah.
That's pretty simple.
That's my main concern is egress.
Yeah. I mean, water's
Oh, there's
a big deal.
There's a big well out there.
We wanna, if something comes back from them, I mean, it sounds to me like we've got an email from them.
Yeah.
But,
Are you
John, do you
okay?
have it? Do you have that letter from the water department?
He just read it.
I'm sorry, do I have an email from the water department on this? No.
No?
No, I don't.
From Rod Mills?
Oh, you know what? I do. Thank you for, give me a couple seconds.
We have that one, so we'll just, you know what, right?
Well, let me point, if you're okay, I was just gonna show Travis what you're talking about, so you know
Right here.
what we're talking about is right here, when you turn and go right.
There's no turn lane to get on, there's no
So what we
access.
need to, what they're saying we need to do is work with the town on doing, acceleration lane.
Let's just put it in.
So the UDOT acceleration lane's gonna be
We'll do that and
800
widen
feet,
the
12
road.
feet wide. That's gonna be 100 feet from 12 to 0.
I'm doing one right now for ours, and we'll just use the same
Exactly.
plans.
That's why I know what it is.
Yeah, we do just the same plans, and we just do that there, and
Yep.
then, you know what? It'll make everyone in Apple Valley out happy, and Travis just said, let's do it, so.
Everybody going out there.
That's the whole town.
Yeah, it does. It affects people there at the store that pull in. Cause I've been there, gas up and you're like, oh, you pull out and you're like, oh crap, there's no acceleration lane, and you punch
Yeah,
it.
the other one.
You are
Yeah.
like giving it gas.
Yep.
We gotta wait for John. Okay, we're gonna hear from John and then we're gonna commiserate here a minute. And then we'll,
So I do have an email from the district's engineer, and he said that he doesn't see any problem with storage or capacity or distribution. So, and it's not entirely clear to me why he's waiting on the will serve letter. So, yeah, I do see that.
Approval here so that we weren't tying up water for.
Something
It's
that's
gonna
not
sit
approved.
there. So he's saying if we get approved tonight, we don't give the will serve letters in the morning.
The other condition, I think I heard you say that your plan is to tie into a wastewater.
He has to The town's requiring that we gotta run our wastewater to a central point to the west.
Um,
And we'll be working that all out in design.
We've got that
so
approved with Harold.
have you had any discussions with anybody at the town about, helping the town, using funds you would have otherwise used for,
Septic system?
for septics and whatnot to help us?
Yeah, I can answer that. Yeah, so
You
let
know,
me,
this thing you're gonna tie into doesn't exist.
no, it doesn't exist. So it needs to be built. So what it means is like, these two right here, we gotta bring the infrastructure to it, build the same unit, and there's systems out there. And one is an Aquatech system. Those systems treat the water so you can reuse it with drip, and they are expandable. So let's say another guy shows up and says, oh, I want to do 100 lots. Well, guess what? That guy needs to go down and put the money, fork the money out. It gets designed with the engineers, like I'm gonna be the engineer designing it. And then they just pay for the engineering. You give them the plans, they order the parts, they put it here, an approved contractor has to install it. And then what we gotta do is do a regional type, either pressure line or gravity line down to the system.
Right.
And that's just, all that logistic stuff's gonna be worked out with the district engineer and the town council and you guys.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, another condition I think we want to make sure to comply here is that
Right.
we don't want to lose sight of the fact that this helps the town get a
Yes,
sewer treatment plant.
absolutely.
So
And
there,
I want to make sure that's a condition here. And it'll be the same thing you guys will hear when we get to you guys, your application.
Yeah,
Okay, that's one we don't want to lose.
we're
sight of.
actually a big part of bringing that Aquatech system, Carl, and then we've flown back and met with the reps and the people and helping it come about.
Yeah, good.
The reps are from Arkansas. They got these units in Canada. So one of the questions was, well, drip tape, is it gonna freeze? Well, in Canada, they have these systems with drip tape and they don't have issues with them, so.
Wastewater treatment.
Canada, that's
Yeah,
where you're
yeah,
from.
so,
And that's,
Oh.
unless it works for us, go for it.
I still want to do a trip up there with you. I've never been to Canada.
I'm trying to get, see my mom.
Have you? It's pretty.
All of them
I don't know,
tiny
I don't know
and
where
bound.
all kinds.
Oh, it's winter.
Well, sprinter,
That's why I left.
I don't know.
sprinter winter,
Okay.
first week of March,
No, the big
Yeah.
ones that we have.
first,
Yeah.
or day after
Marty and
Thanksgiving.
other days, and they're actually
No,
some,
It was a dumb drive.
No,
that's
I went to Alaska, so I drove right.
part of our.
You
The whole
were-
stinking thing.
Yeah,
You were going
I haven't heard that.
They're working on
And
it.
kids in the car, heck yeah, I know, they was curbside,
Wait.
they frown.
For everything from here, as well as that.
We've got, Richard, we got that all solved.
Not from here.
What is
But
it?
we know it has Chevron, everything that side. So we're gonna have either pump stations going towards.
I drove in a minivan,
Yeah.
A big hill.
Right.
Right, that is.
Water patrol.
So half town, all this way, but either way, we're having. But they are working on that.
Yeah, that's what I need, that's what I make sure, I mean, I knew that, you know, this is, you said you're a little town, I mean, eventually.
Well,
we'll
they
have
have
more
more
things you're supposed to, it's gonna be some.
He has more. He doesn't care.
I don't know about that. Okay, so,
So three conditions, is that what you're saying?
Okay, so the audience can hear.
Road widening on their, what do they call that road? They're calling it South Temple Drive or something like that. South Temple Road. Is it South Temple? Is that all you're calling that road, South Temple? This bottom up,
So it's called South Temple.
so road widening to 70 feet on South Temple, right? Approval with UDOT for the,
For the acceleration lane
acceleration lane.
on and off of Apple Valley Way.
Drive.
Are you making a motion?
No.
You could, why don't you go ahead and do
Might
that?
well.
Since you're doing it, do it. Taylor, you wanna,
Your first one?
write this down as a
You're
motion.
done.
Go ahead. You got this.
Okay, you got it.
We'll see.
There
Okay,
you go. You
so
wanna start with, we're gonna recommend that we,
I want to make a motion that we recommend to the town council for approval,
based on,
the preliminary plat for West Temple Village based on three conditions. One, they widen South Temple Road from the 60 feet to the 70 feet. 2, you get approval and plan design with UDOT for acceleration lane coming off of Apple Valley Drive. And 3, that their sewage and wastewater connects to a community or a
They
public
participate with the town in the.
wastewater system.
Yeah.
Right?
You got that, Taylor? Sound good?
Yeah, just do that last part one more time, the septic system one. I got the rest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they need to have their wastewater and sewer in a main line that goes to a public system of some sort.
And finally, one other thing, go ahead.
The will serve letters obtained from the water.
And they obtained the will serve letter from the water district, so 4 conditions.
I second.
All right, so what discussion? Anything else? You gonna beat this horse a little bit more? or-
No,
We'll
I
do
think the
both.
horse has been
Good.
beat enough.
Let's vote on it. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Commission. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We just have to-
And we'll see you next month with the big one.
So you're coming back up or are you gonna stay the whole time?
Oh, no, I'll be back up.
Okay, all right, we'll see you
Yeah,
then.
I gotta fly tomorrow morning.
All right, do we have a motion that we,
Adjourn. I think I'm-
I heard me do it. Janet seconded it.
There you go.
Those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, those opposed? Motion carries.
Yay.